Well, the NRL is hoping to make a number of rule changes for this season, but not everyone is happy about it. The 17 clubs have now had their say, and it's set the stage for a showdown with the NRL. For more, let's bring in our Rugby League reporter, Dane Lillingston. Dane, good morning to you. Can you talk us through some of the key changes that are proposed at the moment?
Yeah, look, Matty, thanks for having me. The main one here is all about the kickoffs. Now, all 17 clubs, the CEOs, had a meeting with the NRL yesterday, Andrew Abdo, Peter V'landys, where they got to voice these concerns. And the number one sticking point is these kickoff changes. Now, obviously, at the moment, the team who concedes has to kick off to the winning team. That's how it's been. It can lead to big momentum swings. The NRL wants to make that an optional choice where they can choose whether to kick or receive, which means the team, as you're seeing here, the team that does concede the try will have a little bit more say in what's going on. Now, Peter V'landys doesn't want to back down on this rules, and he normally gets what he wants. We know what old Pete can be like, but the NRL clubs are vehemently against this, as is an online poll. 67% on the Daily Telegraph say they don't want these changes to come in. Now, the real reason behind bringing in these rules, which the NRL does want to bring in for 2026, is the new broadcast deal. That is coming up at the end of 2027. They want to make this product as exciting as possible. That's what Peter V'landys has said. I actually have a quote here. He said, "We had 137 million viewers in 2019 before we changed the 6 again rule, which was a really big deal at the time. Now we've got 224 million viewers." So that's where he's thinking. He wants to bring this in as much as possible. He's talking openly about wanting more money than the AFL. They got $4.5 billion for their TV rights deal. Peter V'landys wants to get $5 billion for this deal. So that's the big goal that he has at the moment.
Massive numbers.
And he thinks the kickoff change can lead it. One of the other ones is bringing in more set restarts. That's the main one. But the kickoff rule, that's the main one. The clubs don't want it. Wayne Bennett is one vocal supporter of the rules. Gus Gould isn't. They're best of friends, of course, as we all know. But the club CEOs are against this rule. It looks like all 17 don't want it. The NRL want it for 2026, so it's a bit of a standoff situation at the moment.
Good old Wayne, always finding a way to stand out. Now, one of the other big issues coming out of this meeting, the contract situation with Zac Lomax. This is going to get messy, you have to think. You got two different teams. One wants him, one said, hey, you said you weren't going to play for another team.
And it's not the first time, Matty. I mean, we all know the situation now with Zac Lomax. It was supposed to be R360. That's what we all believed, this breakaway rebel competition. They were going to throw plenty of money of it. It was supposed to get off the ground at the end of this year. That's, of course, all been postponed to 2028. It's not happening now. Now, Zac Lomax was contracted to the Eels, still had a few more years to run on his deal. They gave him a conditional release so that he could leave the club early. That was from the final 3 years of his contract, which also blocks him from signing with another NRL club. Now, of course, the rugby thing falls through. Melbourne Storm were reportedly interested. They want him from this year. Of course, Parramatta have since moved on. They've filled up their salary cap, but they don't want him to sign for anyone else. That's the deal they've had. Melbourne Storm obviously pretty keen. They've had a bit of a turnover. They're very interested. The NRL clubs hate this, as you can totally understand. They want to prevent this from happening in the future. So if it was to happen, it would be very bad. Zac Lomax is already enlisted with a lawyer, the same one as Israel Folau, who was able to help him as well. And of course, this isn't the first time with Zac Lomax. He was supposed to be a Dragon until 2026 as well. So it's not the first time he's had these contract situations. The NRL clubs made their thoughts known. They do not want Zac Lomax to sign anywhere else. And like you said, it is going to get very messy before it gets any better here for Lomax in the NRL. Yeah,
you'd have to think there's a great chance that he isn't allowed to do anything. I mean, it was his choice to go for R360. You're the one who put yourself in that position. It unfortunately hasn't worked out the way you obviously wanted it to, but I think you're just going to have to lick your wounds on that one, and we'll just see how that plays out. But, mate, thanks very much for joining us. We'll speak to you again soon.